Hello everyone, welcome to the IELTS reading lesson. Today we are going to study IELTS 20 Test 1 Passage 1, the Kākāpō. This passage has 13 questions. The first 6 are true-false not given questions. The last 7 are note completion questions. The true-false not given questions are divided into 2 types, synonym replacement and logic comparison. The note completion questions are keyword location. Knowing the question types helps you find answers faster and work more efficiently. This passage has 8 paragraphs. It is an expository article about the Kākāpō. From passage 1 to 3 introduces the basic features and early history of the Kākāpō. From passage 4 to 5 talks about early conservation efforts and discoveries. From passage 6 to 9 explains modern recovery plans and results. True-false not given questions are mainly in passages 1 to 3. Note completion questions are in passages 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8. Let's look at question 1. The statement says there are other parrots that cannot fly, just like the Kākāpō. The key clue words are other parrots and inability to fly. We locate paragraph 1. The scanning landmark word is only flightless parrot. The original text says, "It is the world's only flightless parrot." The statement says other parrots share this inability, but the text clearly says only. This is a direct contradiction, a classic antonym replacement. So the answer to question 1 is false. Let's look at question 2. Adult Kākāpō produce chicks every year. Please pause the video and try it yourself first. The key clue words in this statement are every year and produce chicks. We locate paragraph 2. The scanning landmark words are breed and years. The original text says, breed, only in years when food is plentiful. The statement says every year, but the text says only in years when food is plentiful. This is a direct contradiction, a classic case of opposite meaning replacement. So the answer to question 2 is false. Let's look at question 3. Adult male Kākāpō bring food back to nesting females. Please pause and decide true or false. Key clue words, male, bring food, back to nesting females. Locate paragraph 2, look for description of the male's role. The original text says, males play no part in incubation or chick rearing, females alone incubate eggs and feed the chicks. The question says males bring food back, but the text clearly says males play no part in chick rearing. This is a direct opposite meaning, a logic clash. So the answer to question 3 is false. Let's look at question 4. The Polynesian rat was a greater threat to the Kākāpō than Polynesian settlers. Please pause the video and try it yourself first. The key clue in the question is greater threat than, which shows a comparison. Let's locate paragraph 3. The scanning landmark words in the text are easy prey and also preyed on. The text says settlers saw Kākāpō as easy prey, and rats also preyed on it. The original phrase is also preyed on. The text only mentions both as threats, but does not compare which one was greater. The word greater in the question is a comparison not found in the text. This is not false either, because the text doesn't say they were equal, it simply lacks the comparison. So the answer to question 4 is not given. Let's look at question 5. Kākāpō were transferred from Rikura Island to other locations because they were at risk from feral cats. The key clue words in the statement are transferred and at risk from feral cats. Locate paragraph 6. The scanning landmark words are predation by feral cats and evacuated. The original text says, predation by feral cats led to a rapid decline, so the surviving population was evacuated to 3 island sanctuaries. The statements transferred is a synonym for evacuated, at risk from feral cats is a synonym for predation by feral cats led to a decline. This is a clear synonym replacement. So the answer to question 5 is true. Let's look at question 6. One recovery plan initiative that helped increase the Kākāpō population size was caring for struggling young birds. The key clue is caring for struggling young birds. Locate paragraph 7. The scanning landmark is rescuing and hand-raising any failing chicks. The original text uses rescuing and hand-raising any failing chicks, which directly matches the statement. This is a synonym replacement, caring for matches rescuing and hand-raising, and struggling young birds matches failing chicks. So the answer to question 6 is true. Next is the note completion for Q7-13. One-word limit, mostly extracted directly from the text. Let's look at question 7. The note blank needs to fill in one item from the Kākāpō's diet. The blank is after as well as, showing a parallel relationship, so we need a noun. Locate to the end of paragraph 1. The original text lists the Kākāpō's food. The original text says including the leaves, roots, and bark of trees as well as bulbs. Bulbs appears directly. So the answer to question 7 is bulbs. Let's look at question 8. It asks where the nest is built. The text says eggs are laid in soil, so the answer is soil. The clue words are 1 to 4 eggs and laid in. The blank comes after in, so the answer must be a noun. Go to paragraph 2. Scan for the keywords eggs and laid to find the related sentence. The original text says the 1 to 4 eggs are laid in soil. The answer word soil appears directly in the text, so no replacement is needed. So the answer to question 8 is soil. Let's look at question 9. The question says settlers used Kākāpō feathers to make cloaks. We need to find a noun for the blank. The word before the blank is its, so the answer should be a singular or uncountable noun. Let's go to paragraph 3 and look for words related to making clothes. The text says used its feathers to make soft cloaks. Feathers is the answer. This word is directly given in the original text, no replacement needed. So the answer to question 9 is feathers. Let's look at question 10. The blank is after deer. We need to find an introduced species. The clue words are introduced species and deer. Note the blank is a singular noun. Go to paragraph 3 and look for words related to introduced species. The text says introduced species such as deer. The word deer is directly given here. So the answer to question 10 is deer. Let's look at question 11. It asks which year it was confirmed that female Kākāpō were also present on Rikura. The blank is after the word in, so we need to fill in a year. Let's locate paragraph 5 and look for information about Rikura and females. The original text says in 1980 it was confirmed females were also present. The year 1980 is directly given. So the answer to question 11 is 1980. Let's look at question 12. A new recovery plan was launched in 1996 with more funding. The clue word is higher amount of, and we need a noun after it. Locate paragraph 7 and scan around higher amount of. The original text says and a higher amount of funding. The word funding appears directly in the text. So the answer to question 12 is funding. Let's look at question 13. It asks for a noun that refers to the group that needs to stay involved in protecting the species. The blank comes after the verb ensure and before continue to be, so we need a plural noun as the object. Let's look at paragraph 8, which lists the key goals of the recovery plan. The original text says, ensure stakeholders continue to be fully engaged in the preservation of the species. The word stakeholders appears directly in the text. So the answer to question 13 is stakeholders. Now we move to the summary section. Let's review 3 key traps. Trap 1, opposite meaning. The question says the opposite of the text. For example, Q1 and Q2, the question says transferred because of cat threat, but the text says predation by cats caused the transfer. Trap 2, wrong subject. The question changes the subject from the text. For example, Q3, the question says caring for young birds, but the text says rescuing weak chicks. The subject is different. Trap 3, missing information. The question's idea is not in the text at all. For example, Q4, the question mentions a reason, but the text does not talk about it at all. Remember, for opposite meaning, find the opposite word. For wrong subject, check the subject. For missing info, search the text carefully. Now let's summarize the key vocabulary and paraphrases from this passage. Q5 paraphrase, Question transferred because of cat threat. Left right arrow text. Predation by cats caused the transfer. Q6 paraphrase. Question caring for young birds. Left right arrow text rescuing weak chicks. Completion key terms bulbs, soil, feathers, deer, 1980, funding, stakeholders. This lesson ends. Remember these traps to answer faster and more accurately next time.